Hello and welcome to the stream. This is just a quick audio test. There you go, the audio test is successful, so that is good. I'm just loading in the traffic now, the AI, for today's stream. I forgot to turn it on in the settings, so I'm turning it on now. Right, that's good. So I can go ahead and get the display audio up. The display capture, no, that's not the wrong one. There you go. And finally, there we are. Lovely. So, yes, I've got the ProjectFly overlay working for these flights, which is good. Absolutely lovely. I forgot I also need to have my GPS over in the other window as well. So I'll get that up and running over in the corner. Lovely. Move the SkyTrack down. Have to try and fit the GPS in here. There it is, it fits there. And then we go up here to Flight Planner. So we are here in LSPV Vangenlaken. And we're going over to Bad Ragaz. LSZZE. Bad Ragaz. Okay, to that. We're going direct today. Find the route. This recommends 14,000 feet, 13,500 feet. Okay. I don't know how bad. By the looks of it, we'll follow this green, then over the river. I think we'll just follow this whole track down. So we'll only need to go up to about 7,000, 8,000 feet today. By the looks of the terrain, shouldn't be anything too tricky. Lovely. So save that. Yes, I want to move my aircraft to the right place. It should just keep it in the same place it has. Tune traffic. Select runway for takeoff. We're currently on runway 08. And we are departing. Let's get the plane fired up actually. So Control E, first of all, just to get the plane's systems up and running. Lovely. Check the stream health and all that. We are currently running good. So that should be good. We're offline, obviously, flying this lovely Beechcraft Baron. I'll just set this to locked spot. Good. And that's that sorted. So that's our lovely plane. Make sure OBS is recording good. But yeah, so there you go. We can now get on. We're going to do 2 flights today is the plan. So over here to Bad Ragaz, and then we're going from Bad Ragaz down to Saint Moritz. And once we've done that, in the next stream we'll be into Italy. So that should be fun. So today should be about 50-minute stream. I'm not anticipating too long. They're both about 20-minute flights. 28 miles this one, so not too long. Let's turn terrain on my. That's better, and keep it at the range, and then put it down to -3. So that should be about it for now. So what we need to do is we're departing north 08. That's not north. 08. I need to move actually to get this GPS calibrated. A minute. It thinks we're somewhere completely different. There you go. That's sorted. We're heading east. Actually, I could have just looked at that, couldn't I? The magnetic compass, but whatever. So departing east. I'm going to set this to 6,000 for now. What altitude is our airport at, the one we're landing at? Give me a good idea. So we land 1,600 feet, so 6,000 feet will be fine for cruise. And vertical speed just about 1,000. Set flaps 1 for takeoff. May as well. We're running with 70% fuel today, so hopefully we won't overrun the runway. I think that's what happens generally when And I didn't realise, I forgot about this totally. We need to start Fly UK SkyTrack. So we'll go start flying club flight. Oh, one of the engines didn't actually cut. There you go. Start flying club flight. That's now started. So engines can go back on. So a final check outside the aircraft. The serial tail flipper joins us. They will be joining us for takeoff. Right, off we go. I was gonna type in the call sign later, but I accidentally typed it in wrong. So it's so call sign today is UKV 10, Skyways 10, and the actual flight number is FCALP 10. So FC for, I think, for flight something. What's it called? The Flying Club. So it's Flying Club Alpine 10 is today's actual flight number. Let's just check the stream health and all that, make sure. And that's it, we can go. So, get a bit of power. Let's just go max thrust pretty quick, actually. Not using the tablet today, partially, well, we don't need charts. And the wire for it has been taken away for a week. Need a new wire, so to plug that in. Right, the plane's off. And this is just follow the pink line, really. It's going to be quite simple. So it's just put down a flap straight away, really. We don't need much, do we? So it looks like we're going to be tuning on to Zurich approach. So we'll get the autopilot in there, get the altitude in there. It might take control of the heading. Yes, it will. So I need to select heading and then deselect heading, and I now have control. Right, tune Zurich approach. And I want to follow this valley. That's what I want to follow. So I'll put it into 15-mile range so I can see a bit better. I want to follow this valley. This thing will climb nicely up to 6,000. Right, request flight following. I didn't actually start the clock on my yoke, I'll do that. So cool, go outside, have a look. So this is us, we're aiming to go through this valley, turn left over a lake, and it transitions between lakes and valleys, and at the end of this valley, or towards where it starts to split anyway, is our airport. And I got this saying 9 minutes and ProjectFly saying 9 minutes. Obviously we don't need to slow down for landing that much in this sort of plane, so the ETA is actually accurate. So that's nice. So it's nice to have the little ProjectFly working. So it looks like 6,000 is going to be high enough, which is good. We're just climbing literally above 4,000 now. So want to ease the plane right slightly and then left. Yeah, and then we're following this valley, and there at the end of the valley is the airport. So very simple, nice little route. I can see why they've chosen this pairing. And since we're under 30 miles away, I can actually straight up tune in to Bad Ragaz. That's it there. And tune the traffic. So select runway for landing. What are we going for? I reckon runway 12. Announce full stop landing. And we want to announce position. So this thing is now reaching a pretty good altitude. Let's level it off at 5,000. No point in getting all the way to 6,000, because 5,000 is good enough for me to see what's going on. Here's the lake. I was talking about earlier on the GPS. So we'll just turn left here and then follow this valley. It turns into obviously it turns into just flat ground after the lake. Now this will allow us to speed up a little bit now. Currently 170 is our ground speed, not bad, 170 knots. Once I get to about 180 knots, that's when I'll ease it back a little bit, save a bit of fuel. Quite good timing this as well, because I've actually not flown a Fly UK flight. I got an email 4 days ago to say your account has been made inactive, do a flight within the next month or it'll be deleted, so useful that I did that. Obviously it will be measuring the landing rate, this, so hopefully we can get a good landing rate in that. I'm not typically very good at landing this. I've never actually had a landing counter for this plane, so we'll have to wait and see. Go outside, just following this nice little valley along. Lovely scenery. Nice. It's nice in winter to get the scenery. Once the game goes into its spring scenery, we'll see a bit more blossom about, a bit more greenery. But for now, well, did I just say greenery? I did, didn't I? Yeah, that makes no sense. But there you go. We've evened out at about 183 knots. Pretty good. And at that rate, this thing should take us just 4 minutes to get to our final destination. Yeah, these flights don't take long. They've been going just 4.5 minutes so far. This is why I like them. They're nice little short flights. I don't want to do I would do 3 in this stream possibly, because then both of them are quite short. But the next flight is a little bit longer. So this one we're doing now, let's have a look. This one is just 28 miles. The next one we're doing is 33. But then the one after that is 60. It's double the length of these two. And we also stick in, generally we do 2 flights in a stream. So we're just sticking with doing that. So I'll zoom this in a little bit now, the GPS, so I can see what's going on. We're just following this valley, curves around slightly to the right, which I can see here. And then just as there's a little opening, that's where we should see the airport. It's maybe buried slightly in the corner, but we should see it. I don't seem to have any ground services or anything like that there. I still haven't updated GSX actually, so I need to do that. I'm not doing a stream tomorrow, as I am busy tomorrow. I was going to do a stream, but I'll have to put that off till the next week. I've already got an idea. We're going to be taking an EasyJet A320, Norwich to Bristol, Bristol to Edinburgh. It fits in with some ProjectFly work I've got to do. I've got to I need to relocate back to Bristol from Norwich, so I'll do that. And I've accepted a contract for an EasyJet A320 up to Edinburgh, so I'm doing a bit of ProjectFly work. I'd love to get. I was thinking, oh, maybe it's giving me an idea for the sort of stream we can do. I'll have a look on the contracts. I had to look around for some 737 contracts. You have to go for some. You have to go to the latest ones to get some. Otherwise, the people who've made them don't accept them for quite a while. Sometimes there are some where the people have created a contract and then they've gone off ProjectFly and they don't answer it for over half a year. And I want something I can do in a stream. And I see our airport, so I think it's time to get this off, announce final, and back this thing off a little bit. This thing doesn't have gear, does it? Oh, it does. I just didn't put it up. That was a bit stupid of me. Oh, I did put it up. That must have been like an instinct thing, because I don't think I remember doing that. No, whatever. We're 6 miles away. We've only been in the air 7 minutes, so this flight was supposed to take. I don't. The estimations they give are inaccurate. It said it would take about 20 minutes on the Fly UK website. FSX says 9 minutes. So what FSX is telling me is a lot more realistic. Obviously, it is a fairly fast plane, this, compared to your Cessnas. They are a good their cruise speed is about 120 knots. compared to this thing, which is about 180 knots. So it is obviously in a Cessna, it's going to take longer. I was originally doing this series in a Cessna, but a lot of the longer flights just took too long to do in a stream. As nice as the Cessna is, it's nice to have a bit of a faster plane. So the other one that's included with FSX obviously is the Beechbound 58, which is why we are using it. Right, so hopefully we can get a good landing on ProjectFly. I'll be watching. Fingers crossed we get something good. Obviously no glide slope, nothing like that in these planes. Let's go full flaps now. I want to try and get quite a slow landing. I've completely lost the runway. There it is again. It's very small, that's why. Because I always land a bit too quick, and then, because I do forget, this thing doesn't have reversers. It doesn't really have much in the way of brakes, honestly. The amount of times I've overshot a runway in this thing because its brakes are terrible. I don't know what the ideal landing speed is in this thing. But since the stall speed on the speedometer looks about 85 on there, I'm guessing it's around 90. This runway has got to be the thinnest runway I've ever seen. Is it actually a runway? What am I... That's because it's not a runway. It's a tree. Oh wow, I thought that was the runway then. I was like, hang a minute, it looks a bit odd. This is the runway over here. I honestly thought that tree was the runway for some reason. I'm not sure why. That's the runway up ahead. Well, we've managed to slow down, so there's a positive. I don't want to hit the ground because that will mess up the landing indicator a bit. I forget how sensitive this thing is on the controls. Minus 270 FPM. And as usual, this thing doesn't want to stop. I think we're just going to do it. And we did it. Down to 20 knots. We just did it. So there we go, after 10 minutes on the clock exactly. Hello and welcome to Bad Ragaz in, I think it's Switzerland. I'm going to say Switzerland. Yep, Switzerland. I got it right. I thought we were in Switzerland. Right. There we go. And that's clear of runway. Minus 270 that landing. So not bad. Not bad at all. And we didn't completely fail the landing either. So that's nice. Right, park it facing the runway. And we start with £600 of fuel. We've only used £32, so absolutely excellent. Park up facing the runway. Might have to depart in the other direction. And that's it. So I can stop the recording from Skytrack. It's recognised. Look, FCalp 10. So submit that. Lovely. And what I want to do is go into bookings on here, and oh, I need to finish this one actually on ProjectFly. Complete flight. There's our route. Look, you can see me fall in the valley. Absolutely lovely. Edit flight details. Call sign was UKV 10. I put these as charter flights, by the way. Right, bookings, dispatch, routes, because SimBrief, it turns out, doesn't recognise the Beechbound 58, or at least not via ProjectFly, it doesn't. So that's a better way of putting it. Lovely. Right, on here it says it's called, what, like, Samadan maybe? That's what it thinks LSZS is called. According to Fly UK, it's called Samaritz. So let's have a look at what FSX calls it. So we're going from LSZE, which is Bad Ragaz, down to LSZS, Samadan. That's what it calls it, so obviously the name on the website is wrong. Direct, VFR, find the route. Looks like there's no apparent route. The valley that we're following ends, so we're going to have to climb quite high, I think, to get what we want. So save that, move it to the correct place by taking off from. I shouldn't have done that. Right, I don't want to fetch bookings, I'm being silly. Right, start flying club flight, that's now started. The new flights appeared at the top, look. UKV11 is the call sign. So that's lovely. Right, let's go ahead and get the plane started up. So just pull that up to 15 nautical miles for now. It'll be a bit tricky to find a path that actually works, but we'll try. Right, we're departing off. Right, I need to give this thing a little bit of throttle, so it knows where we're heading. Looks like about west, more west than anything else. Runway 30. We're departing west. So flaps 1. Using takeoff of 5 degrees. I'm not exactly sure what it's called in this aircraft. Or it might be 17 degrees even. How's the fuel looking? 66%, so we've got well enough fuel. This thing, I want to set it up to about 10,000 for now. Let's have a go at that. So we will start the clock on my yoke and get going for the second and actually last flight of this stream. This one I have a feeling will take a lot longer than the other one. It's only a little bit longer distance wise, but route wise we're going to have to do a lot more climbing, and that means we're going to be slow. Right, off we go. In the air, gears going up. And then I'll start turning the plane round. Contact Zurich Centre. Flaps can go in. So it doesn't look like we're going to be able to follow much of a path here, unfortunately. There's nothing clear. It's all quite high terrain. And it doesn't look like there's going to be a way around it, really. So my aim is, for the moment, just to try and follow the pink line as good as we can until, obviously we have to do something about it. Right, autopilot can come in for the actual altitude. Trying to climb at 1200 feet per minute, a little bit fast maybe. I'm going to use this valley to sort of gain a bit of altitude. Let's make sure right, what altitude as well? I'm guessing the plane we're landing at 5,600 feet it's at. It's a very high airport, so going up to 10,000 won't matter in terms of the descent. It's quite good to know that. It's doing the usual. I have to turn the heading on and off again to actually get control of the aircraft. It's a bit of a weird one that I have to do that, but whatever. So I think it is literally a simple follow the pink line, and hopefully this plane will be able to climb in time for us to get over it, because obviously this thing is not a fast climber. This is the pink line roughly now, looking roughly ahead of us. There are small bits of terrain that we can go over, but hopefully we can make it quite easily. I'm just looking at the altitude, so 4,300 we're passing at the moment. I'm not sure when we'll have to start turning left, but it's going to be quite soon. But we have to start turning left now, and this thing's not high enough, is it? Sadly, this thing's only just passing 5,000 feet. It's really not high enough, I don't think, to be getting over this. We might make it, just. We're passing 5,400 now, so... hopefully we'll make it, and we won't have to bother slowing down at all. It'd be lovely if I could do that. Didn't have to bother slowing down or going off my route, but... I don't know, it's going to be close to this, of whether I can make this plane go over this hill. This mountain. Gonna be close. Right, this is literally the pink line now. I'm aiming for that spot there because it seems to be the lowest. I think this thing would just get over. Like, just. So passing 6,600 feet, I think. Looking at that, we've just done it. So like last time I said that, I ended up crashing it. So, because in this game, the way collisions are, if you touch a bit of terrain, that's basically it. So, it's close. So we're at 7,000 feet, look. I think we've just done it. That's tight. That's really tight. But we've done it. We've done it. Yay! We've done it! We got over the mountain, and now the next mountains will already be at quite a high altitude, so they won't be as big a problem for us. Right, I'm gonna knock that back to 1,000 now. I want to get a bit faster. That's nice. So we seem to have made it, I think. I reckon we can probably take this down to 9,000 as well. 10,000 seems a bit excessive for now. Right, we can get onto the nearest airport list now. And they have a tower. Okay, that's interesting. So they want us to land runway 3. So I have to land runway 3. I don't suppose there's any approaches, are there? Nope. And runway 3 is literally like pretty much opposite. So we need to go to the left, I think. But we have actually got a tower, so there might be a decent sized airfield. Possibly. I know these streams aren't very long, but I do enjoy doing them. I haven't actually done a VFR stream in quite some time, so I actually really enjoy doing them. You know, it's nice to have a break from not just tons of procedures and tons. You know, you just gotta sit back, watch the scenery. It's quite fun, isn't it? Something a little bit different. It's nice to have different stuff on this channel. It's not just all the time the same stuff. 7 minutes. I'm coming on 8 minutes into the flight now. Yeah, it's lovely, these nice, sort of just nice hills, and it's quite interesting. I think we might need to climb a little bit. I think we might need to get above that hill up there. I thought 10,000 might be needed, and it looks like it is. I'm going to need to sweep round. I'm going to go over the lake, I think. I know they said make left traffic, but I'm not going to bother. It doesn't really. There's no traffic about, so it doesn't really matter, does it? But yeah, we do need to climb a little bit. Set it to just, yeah, I don't know, I have to set it for 10,000. It'll annoy me if I set it for 9,700. Yeah, I'm doing this to try and preserve the speed. Right, we've made it over that hill. I'm not sure, I don't think we would have at 9,000, so glad I did that. Somewhere over one of these hills, we should have our airport. But obviously I do need to do a bit of a turn first. That's now 10,000, we're a little bit higher. Nice. It's not this valley that our airport is in, we've still got a little bit of time to go. I'm actually a good mile off course now, so that's nice. I need to be on this course anyway. I need to be slightly away from the airfield because I need to turn right and then loop round in to land runway 3. Yeah, I'll turn it left slightly. Right, 12 miles out, not too far. Yeah, this flight's already longer than the last one. Because last flight was 10 minutes exactly. We've just passed the 10-minute mark now. So surprising. But obviously that was quite simple. That flight, we just followed a valley. That's like the easy part of VFR. You stick to a valley, and that's it. This one, however, there were no valleys. If I was going to go via a valley, it would have taken about an hour. So it's pointless. So it's good to do it this way. This is the more challenging side of it. Actually trying to get the plane without crashing into a mountain. It's quite nice to do that. Obviously. Still 9 miles out. There's a little map hill there. Looks quite large. I don't think we're going over that though. Hopefully we're not. Hopefully. If we can go another, I mean, minus 270 FPM in this thing is actually pretty good. I mean, I've never done an FPM camera on this plane before, but it feels pretty difficult to land sometimes. I'm going to try and do, like, maybe half flaps on the landing. Because doing full just made this thing almost uncontrollable. So maybe it seems like a bit of a bad idea to do that. So instead of full, go half. So there should be a valley up ahead now. That's the valley there, look. I think that's it. We can't see it yet. And in there is the airport, which means we don't have to go over, well, hopefully, that massive, massive hill. Because I'd rather not go over it, really. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that will be the airport. Okay. Let's get this thing down a little bit. To 9,000. Obviously the airport itself is at 5,600 feet anyway, so it doesn't really matter in that way. Right, let's turn. Is it in this valley? It better be now. Yeah, I think it is. And there should be a lake somewhere along. Actually no, it's not really a proper lake, it's quite a bit far along for that. Actually, it might not be quite in this valley yet. Right, autopilot out. I'm doing this. Oh dear. So I've got some extra tight bits here. Need to push the plane up a little bit. We'll lose a bit of speed, but this plane, that's the airport down there. They've just cleared us to land. That's the airport we're looking for. So I've actually positioned ourselves to land quite well. It looks like a fair-sized airport, rather than the others we've been landing at, which are just small strips, really. They're not really proper airports. Okay, so let's start slowing this thing down a little bit, and then I'll go flap. Whatever. So there's literally two settings. There's 50% or 100. So we'll go 50 and see how that works out. Right, according to this, we've already landed. According to what the GPS, so that's interesting. Gears coming down, ready for us to land. It might still be a little bit off course, a little bit fast, possibly even. Yeah, we're definitely a little bit faster. Well, we're completely idle, so hopefully this thing will lose speed quite quickly. Is that a plane on the ground I see? It looks a bit like a plane. We might have some other traffic here. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before in this little series. Because most of the strips, apart from when we started in Nice, which was a big airport, all the others have been teeny little things. I have got private planes installed now, but I'm not sure if that might even be commercial. I think it is a private jet though. I can't see this. I don't think the skin's loaded in properly yet. Yeah, that's worked better. Doing a 50% flaps landing. A lot better. How was that a minus 391 and the other was a minus 270? Because that actually felt smoother, which is the funny thing. And this obviously has a half decent runway, so we're able to brake on the runway properly. And stop the clock there. 15.5 minutes. It's what you'd expect, really. Right, vacate the runway. That almost looked like an Austrian Dash 8 that did back there. This might actually be a proper airport. May have ground as well, that's cool. We're going to taxi to parking. Not the gates, obviously, because this is a private plane, not a public plane. Cool, we actually have a nice airfield. It's lovely. What gates do they have then? They have literally one gate and 8 parkings. And one of the parking number 6 is being used currently. That's a private jet, isn't it? Yep, that's a private jet. It's a German jet. And we're in Switzerland, so it's flown a little bit away to get here. I'm not right-clicking to check what sort of plane that is. Honestly, don't trust right-click in this game anymore. Even though this plane never crashed on me, I just don't trust it. I really don't trust it. So I'm sticking away from it. I've lost my trust completely in FSX when it comes to right-clicking. Right, I can turn off the GPS now, can't I? Let's get the GPS back in this screen, actually. And we're taxiing in, so obviously we don't need permissions to cross the runway in this game, because that's how it works. It's a little bit odd, I know. That's how the ATC work in this game. I don't know what's happening. Every time I land, there's literally like smoke, pretty much. You could call it, coming off the wings. It's not great. Like steam. I don't know what it is, but Brake fans don't seem to cure it in the planes that do actually have brake fans. I'm not sure if this thing has them. Nice, there's another private jet here. It's not just us. We're not lonely, which is nice. And this means next stream I'll be able to load in with an empty tank and actually get fueled up. Which reminds me, I got to do a GSX update when I finished this stream. I was going to do it last week and I totally forgot. Because obviously the GSX hasn't crashed today, but we haven't actually used it. When I was doing my stream last week, it did totally crash. So, something to think about. Oh, this thing doesn't have like a... Oh well. Let's do it from outside. This might be a bit cheaty, but whatever. The AI park way past these things anyway, but I like parking on them. This thing has no momentum on the ground when they use the brakes. Right, parking brakes in place. All three of the things on the throttle quadrant are completely down. Right. Propeller control right back to 0. And cut that engine as well. And that is it. Stop the recording there of the Fly UK flight. Submit that. Lovely. Off. Okay, complete the flight on ProjectFly. You can see our interesting little route there out. You can see. So I'm trying to have a look at where the logbook, that's it, logbook. The first flight's pretty good as well. It was just, you could see it's falling in the valley. It's quite cool. I might get ProjectFly off and turn off the FSX overlay. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Not too long of a stream, 45 minutes. It's about what's expected, isn't it? So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. And bye-bye.